Disclaimer: no socks and sandals combos were harmed in the making of this episode.
Hey, welcome back to Dad Space. Yeah, the podcast by dads for dads, now with disclaimers at the beginning of the show. Oh wait, we got a lot more coming for you. We're getting really, really close to episode 200. I was going to save that for episode 200, but I couldn't hold back. I had to share it. We're going to have some pretty interesting disclaimers at the beginning of the show going forward. Welcome to Dad Space. Now, when your partner says to your kids, wait till your father gets home, is that meant to threaten them and make them scatter? Or is that like, let's go stand by the window, nose pressed against the glass, jumping up and down when Daddy rolls into the driveway? It's Dad Space. I'm hoping for the latter for you and not the former. We're here to celebrate all things Dad. Thanks for being here. Thanks for pressing play. So when your partner says to your family, oh, wait till your father gets home. I remember that when I was little, and it was never good news. It was never, ever good news if I heard my mother say, wait till your father gets home. Probably I did something wrong. And if you're like me, you're like, yeah, I know what that feels like. And when that car turned into the driveway, poor Dad, back then there was no cell phones. Dad had no idea what he was walking into after a long day. He just kind of rolled into the house, and then all heck was unleashed as Dad got the full brunt of a very angry mom and kids hiding in closets because, oh no, we gotta protect, hide, shelter in place. There was nobody there to plead our case. We didn't have lawyers back then to be a mediator between mom and dad. Whatever mom said was true. Even though it probably was, it was really a weird feeling. I want for us as dads to have those moments that you see on TikTok when the kids are young, they're little, and Daddy pulls in with his big pickup truck or whatever, and the kids are just bouncing. They're like, it's like the Super Bowl for kids that Dad's here, right? Like, that's a good memory. Like, you can hardly get the door open. They're so excited to see you again. And I just think that we as dads set the tone for our home. Yes, our wife, our partner, also super important in setting the tone for our home. But this is Dad Space. We're focused on dads here. So I'm talking to dads. And I think that for us, we have a big part to play in setting the tone for our home. And I think a healthy and welcoming home, it all starts with dads and partners being intentional about how everyone feels when Dad arrives home, right? From a trip, maybe they have been serving overseas, maybe they've just been away for a business meeting, or they just had a long day at the office. When Dad arrives home, it should be a joyous occasion, not something where the kids go running and hiding. It's meant to be fun and exciting, right? That's what we want for our home. We want a light, happy, fun, safe home for our kids. So there's 4 main things I want to focus on about setting a healthy home tone within our homes and how we could do that. How we can transform this wait till your father gets home from a negative to an anticipatory positive. That we can't wait for Dad to walk through that door, pull into the driveway, kick off his boots. We can't wait to see Dad. So what do we do to help set a healthy, happy tone in our home? First, we got to lead within our home, with our family, with our partner, with respect and kindness. If we want our kids to grow up with a healthy understanding of what respect is and what kindness looks like, we as dads, we have to be the ones to model it from the time we roll in to the house to the time we leave the next day. Respect is a foundational element for positive relationships in a healthy home. And it's an atmosphere that we can create as dads. We have a very unique impact on our family. What is said, and especially how it is said, it really matters. We kind of need to come in as dads. We can speak gently with our kids. We can give them eye contact, put the phone down, that kind of stuff, and greet others warmly, and we can help model respect. One of the things I learned when my oldest son was taking Taekwondo is in the Korean culture, when adults come home, the children come to the front door. They come to the main door and they greet the adults. It's a sign of respect. No matter what they're doing, they're deep into Minecraft. That moment that door opens, boom, they're at the front door to greet their parents, to greet the adult. And I'm like, imagine that. If we in Canada, the US, or whatever, wherever you are listening, if that was the normal thing to do, to drop everything and go and acknowledge the adults that have returned home as a sign of respect. Wow. I don't know. That would feel nice, because sometimes we come home as dads and we're like, hello, everybody. Hello. And there's nobody around. They're all off doing their thing. It's like they don't even try. And you're like, oh, I wish people would acknowledge my existence, seeing that I paid for most of the stuff in this house, right? I would just love to see that come to Canada and the US, where adults are treated with that. But you know what? I think it goes beyond just dreaming about it to modeling it. To modeling it as an adult, to modeling it as a dad. And whatever we want from our family, we should be the model of giving that first. So, for you as a dad, how's your eye contact with the kids when they're telling you, again, about the thing at school with the thing, and then the thing when they did the thing, and you're like, ugh. Are you looking at the kids? Are you looking at your phone and uh-huh-ing your kids in the background? Model the respect that you want your kids to give you by giving it to them first. And encourage respectful communication between yourself and your partner, yourself and your kids, and avoid this harshness. Maybe because you're tired, or over-the-top sarcasm, like where it's getting a little bit more than funny and it's getting a little bit more pointed. That kind of sarcasm. It stings a little bit. It's like a bee sting. Noticeable, annoying, and to some people, scary. We need to use kind words as dads. We need to set that as part of the tone of our home. In this place, we speak with respect. We speak with kindness. That's what we do in this house. And we need to be the first to model it. It's not going to happen through your words. It's going to happen through your actions and how you demonstrate it within your home. Your home needs to be a place where that listening is encouraged. There's an open feel to your home, and there's a trust that's built over time. That's equity. That's something that takes time. And as your kids see you modeling it, then they're going to pick up on it and also in turn give it back. So if you're feeling like you're getting a little less respect than you should, and a little less kindness is happening in the house, there's not much listening. There's a lot of talking at, not talking to and with. Maybe it starts with you. So let's lead in our homes with respect and with kindness. And let's make discipline team-based, not threat-based. That classic line you hear when back in the day, wait till your father gets home, can create a lot of anxiety and fear if it's used as a threat. Who wants somebody to come home and be angry, right? And why do we need that over our head for the next hour or two while we just fear and shake that dad's going to come home and let it all out on us because we were terrible and probably deserved it. Instead, parents should address issues together and communicate with more collaborative language. Like, let's talk about this with Dad, what happened and all of that, so that we can learn and move forward. Let's wait till when your father gets home. Let's sit down and talk about that. That feels better than the open-ended threat of wait till your father gets home. ... Like, what does that mean? It's too vague. And in that vagueness is where our minds, especially our kids, starts to jump to the worst possible scenario that could possibly happen. Don't set up Dad as the bad cop all the time, who's going to come in, clean up the town. He's not the sheriff, right? Kicking in the doors of the saloon, right? And everyone like jumps back. No, the piano player stops playing. Nope. This whole fear of Dad coming home, that's not healthy. It can really damage a children's perception of the relationship that they have with their dad. We need to handle small issues immediately and then use the arrival times as moments for reconnection, not confrontation, right? Our kids shouldn't be hiding from us when we come home. And again, we have the power of being able to text each other and give a heads up that today hasn't been a good day. Junior got in trouble at school again. Our daughter did something. The daughter broke the favorite thing of the thing. And we have a kind of a heads up now where we didn't have that back in the day. But when Dad gets home, when Mom gets home, it's got to be a positive experience. We don't want our kids to dread us returning home. So make discipline more team-based instead of threat-based. And create welcoming homecoming rituals in your house. So again, for the Korean families, they recognize and acknowledge when people come to the home, especially the adults. It is priority for them. We need to create some kind of welcoming homecoming ritual in our house, especially when our kids are little. How Dad enters the house matters. A cheerful greeting, hugs, excited shouts, smiles, all these things. They help set the mood for the evening and can become a cherished family ritual. Dads should reciprocate by demonstrating excitement and genuine joy for seeing their own family when they return home to the house. Use physical cues like open your lighting and tidy spaces, favorite music, or simple routines like a shared snack or something to look forward to that signals that Dad's home. And make everyone's return home feel special and safe. This is really going to help us to reinforce this positive anticipation that Dad's coming home. He'll be here any minute, right? That feeling of anticipation should not come with dread. It should come with hope and excitement that Dad's on his way. We as parents, as dads, we really need to focus in and practice humility and empathy. By having empathy in our homes and making that a priority, I think it really is going to help to make that anticipation of Dad coming home being a positive thing all the time. Dads, with you and with your partners, we can really build some emotional safety for our kids by how we live our life as dads, by how we own our own mistakes and we apologize sincerely and we listen with empathy. We need to demonstrate to our kids that nobody's perfect in this lifetime and that we model humility. This is really going to help our relationships with our kids and with our partner to flourish. Empathy is something that we need more today than ever before. Validating emotions, even though there's tough moments in our day. This really helps us to de-escalate any kind of conflict and encourage our children to approach us as parents with their feelings and with their challenges without fear. Rather than hide them or dread conversations or the return of parents to the house, We want this to be a positive experience for our kids, to be looking forward to and longing for a loving relationship with our parents and excited to see them. I think that we as dads, we do set the tone for our home. And my question to you is, what do you want from your home? What do you want your home to look, feel like, sound like? I think it's something that we can build over time. But it's going to take time. And the sooner we start, the better. So what can you come up with as a home time celebration with your kids, where they're looking forward to you coming home? That routine, that acknowledgement, that anticipation. What do? I would love to hear what you do in your home. Again, I'm an empty nester. My kids are out of the house now, so just me and my wife. But we have grandchildren coming around now, and we're trying to figure out how we can make that special for them when they come to visit. But for you, what's your routine? What do? What do you do on purpose to acknowledge when the parents come home, without making it feel like a threat? Just wait till your father gets home. Wait till your dad gets here. It should be something that's positive and uplifting, not something negative, not a threat that sits over top of our children's hearts. Our children should be looking forward to seeing us with great expectation, great anticipation, that they get to have time with Dad. And when you get home, Dad, I know you're tired. I know it's been a long day. I know it's been a long trip. I know it's been a long conference, whatever. You just want to get in and just be you for a while. Understand that your kids, how you show up for your kids, starts the moment your key goes through that front door and that door handle turns. You're in front of the most important people in your life when you walk through that door. And you want them to be looking forward to you. So make it a big deal. Make it a big deal for your kids that when Dad gets home, it's the best time of the day. It starts tonight. So plan it out and let me know what you come up with over at dadspace.ca. I'd love to hear your new or established routine for welcoming home Dad. And I would love to know the tone of your home. Is it light, fun, safe, caring? Or is it something that needs to be worked on? It's not as loving as you want it to be. It's not as welcoming as you want it to be. And what can you do about it? And start with it right now. And make it your priority to set the tone for your home. Again, thank you so much for being here. Episode 200 is next. And I can't wait to talk with you for another 100 episodes. It's exciting to get to this point. And because of you, we keep showing up. Because you keep showing up to Dad Space. Thanks for being here. Hey, thanks for listening to Dad Space. Thanks for hanging out to the end of the podcast. That's a great sign to wherever you're listening to this podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, fill in the blank, that this was a good podcast to send people to. So simply by listening to this point of the podcast, you're helping the show grow. So good on you. Thanks for helping us grow Dad Space. If you want to help us fill our cups over at Dad Space, head over to dadspace.ca. Dadspace.ca, simple website, right? Dadspace.ca. You can fill up our coffee cup, which helps us then to keep moving forward with the podcast, and use our Buy Me a Coffee link over at dadspace.ca. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for coming back. And thank you for sharing, because the more people, more dads we can help, the better. We're all here to help each other grow in community. That's what it's all about. And without you, podcast is pointless. There's no reason to do any of this. So you being here means everything. See you at dadspace.ca. Take care.